100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana use. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes, entertainers, and any others. This is one of the many accusations Harry J. Anslinger, the director of the Federal Bureau of Narcotics, used to start the war on marijuana to assure the success of his department. Why is marijuana illegal? Article posted at drugwarrant.com. Marijuana was also in use for centuries before it was finally attacked in the 1930s. The majority of the claims leading to its prohibition are clearly absurd and not based on fact but on bold-faced propaganda and biased speculation. I, among countless others, see that the advantages of having marijuana legalized greatly outweigh the cons of the argument, and today I plan to convince you of this. The majority of the opposition stems from a lack of understanding. By using my own personal knowledge and a score of online sources, I will explain the logistics involving the initial ban on marijuana, present the economics of its legalization, and lastly describe its health benefits to prove that its use should be of one personal choice, not controlled by the government, but merely regulated. Marijuana has been in use since as far back as 6000 BC, when its seeds were used for food in China. Throughout the following centuries, it spread from Asia through Europe and eventually to the Americas around the 1600s. During this time, the potential of the cannabis plant is discovered at large, first in textiles, then for pharmaceutical use, dating as far back as 2727 BC. It was even considered to be a sacred plant in India. Marijuana History Timeline article posted at concept420.com. It wasn't until the early 1900s that signs of opposition began to appear, leading to the Marijuana Tax Act in 1937 and the end of legal marijuana use. It was mostly due to the efforts of Harry Anslinger and his sidekick William Hearst that this act was introduced. As hemp was an industrial monopoly and altogether a threat to white supremacists and rural businesses, they used questionable cause tactics in order to convince others that its use caused violence and unruliness, when in reality studies now show that the behavior exhibited from marijuana users is almost entirely opposite of those claimed by prohibitionists. Appealing to their audiences with a horrific journalism and an alienation the Mexican and African American races, they instilled fear of cannabis use in the American public. After drawing the support of pharmaceutical and textile companies threatened by the cannabis industry, the mass reefer madness propaganda had its desired effect. Drugwarrant.com. Nowhere in their argument did they use any studied fact. The act was passed purely based off speculation and fear, leading me to believe that without racial inequality as the scapegoat, the legalization of marijuana would have been a significant challenge, especially if they had the knowledge of it we now have. Unfortunately, this is not the case, but if it were to be legalized once again, it would be an extreme economical boost, and over 40% of Americans admitted to at least trying marijuana. Marijuana Use USA article posted at alcoholanddrugguide.com. This chart shows that from the ages of 18 to 50, it rises over to half of the population. That is a significant amount of people breaking the law. According to the legalization of marijuana.com, in 2000, state and local law enforcement arrested 735,000 people for marijuana violations. This means that approximately one marijuana smoker is arrested every 45 seconds in America, 88% of which was for possession. Just last month, 2 of my close friends were arrested for possessing less than 3 ounces of marijuana. They are still awaiting their court dates. If convicted, they face up to a year of incarceration and or up to a $1,000 fine. Marijuana arrests make justice more expensive and less efficient in the United States, wasting jail space, clogging up court systems, and diverting time of police, attorneys, judges, and corrections officials away from violent crime, the sexual abuse of children, and terrorism. Furthermore, taxation of marijuana can provide needed and generous funding of many important criminal justice and social programs. The prohibition of marijuana costs U.S. taxpayers in excess of $12 billion annually. Instead of wasting this money in an unending war, we could instead save the taxpayer and the government around $8 to $16 billion a year, not counting the economic benefits of hemp agriculture and other spin-off industries. Economic Report article posted at normal.org. marijuana would be a valuable source of public revenue while ending the need for an illegal market. By putting into place the harmfulness tax, we could justify the external costs of a legal marijuana market. This tax covers any imposed costs on innocent third-party non-users. Taxing of marijuana would not be limited to the plant itself, but also to its large variety of products. The economic benefits of the legalization of marijuana are further broken down in this chart provided by the Normal website. As you can see, set up correctly, the legalization of marijuana should boost the economy and while keeping the legal system available for more important cases. The penalties for possession of cannabis should not exceed the damage of its use, which is extremely minimal. Marijuana critics would have you believe that there are many inhibiting effects from its use and also that it is highly addictive. There is no proof that marijuana is physically addictive, especially compared to drugs currently on the market. And actually, it is one of the safest therapeutically active substances in its natural form known to man. Marijuana use causes no evident long-term cardiovascular problems for normal persons. There have been no reports of lung cancer related solely to marijuana. At this time, the only proven negative consequence is the chance of compromised immunity of the lungs due to the smoke. The benefits of marijuana, article posted at askmen.com. No serious advocate of medicinal marijuana would claim it cures anything. Marijuana does, however, treat symptoms. Marijuana is used to treat patients suffering from cancer, seizures, migraines, glaucoma, multiple sclerosis, Tourette syndrome, OCD, ADD, ADHD, irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, Alzheimer's, premenstrual syndrome, and AIDS. 10 major health benefits of marijuana, article posted at coedmagazine.com. It's most commonly used for pain and nausea relief, but it is not only used to care for physical ailments but mental ones as well. This includes depression, bipolar disease, anxiety, PTSD, and insomnia. Of course, every person will feel differently and will obtain different results, but overall, the benefits of using marijuana for the treatment of the former and future debilitating infirmaries prevail over the disadvantages. I have now shown you the main reasons for marijuana to be endorsed in the United States. We have recognized the aspects of marijuana and its faulty start to prohibition, the economic reward of its legalization, and the benefits of use. You should at this time have obtained the knowledge to make an educated decision regarding marijuana and its legalization. All I ask is that when you leave here today is you talk to at least one person about what you learned. For the more people with a true understanding of marijuana, the more chance it has of being legalized, so that we may enjoy its economical and medical benefits. William F. Buckley, a conservative political mastermind, once said, "Even if one takes every reefer madness allegation of prohibitionists at face value, marijuana prohibition has done far more harm to far more people than marijuana ever could." Top 10 marijuana quotes. Article posted at bakelife.com.